What's up, everybody on YouTube? That's so bad. YouTube. I'm not familiar with this one. It's like me saying zoom. Today I'm working on a back piece that I've already started, and it's on my client Tyler. It's statues and all types of fun stuff. We're 2 sessions in right now. We have 2 more sessions this time frame, so we're just gonna see how much we can knock out. He sits super well for me. We're both very eager to get this done. We have multiple more sessions lined up already, which is fantastic. So we're just gonna see what progress we can make in the next 2 days.
Hello.
Good morning. You're here
today.
So for this.
That's right. And Tyler, this is Lindsay. She's hanging out with us now.
Oh, Lindsay's great.
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I like the new spot. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. We like it too. We're happy to be here. It's a lot more just like calm and peaceful and quiet compared to the other space.
Yeah.
And it's all ours, which is even better. I was tattooing Tyler in the dark.
Yeah.
Jordan was holding a flashlight so I could finish tattooing him. I do remember, actually. Are you ready? Bring your things. All right, and then just throw your stuff wherever. Make yourself at home. You can, yeah, perfect. All right, we're gonna lay the stencil on you, and then we'll let it dry. And then we're gonna get started. That horse face healed beautifully. Okay.
The sheets are still purple.
I believe it. I believe it. Okay, so we're gonna do, so my plan, I'm gonna show you a little bit. I wanna knock this chunk out for sure. And then I'm thinking we'll just come like down here and work on this stuff. We may come over here, just kind of whatever feels right once I stencil it. But I'm thinking a nice thing would be get like this side done for you.
Okay.
That'd be cool. But let me stencil it and then we'll kind of check it out. So we're just gonna let that dry. I think I'm gonna re-stencil this section up here. One, it blobbed a little bit, and I think I honestly might clean it up just a smidge on my iPad as well. But we're gonna start down here, and then I might try and jump over here next. But let me just do this first, and then we'll go from there. But you just hang out for a few. I have everything ready. But I just want to let it dry for just a few, and we'll be good. Some people a a lot of people like their shoulder blades because it's just like flat. You get hit a lot there, so it's like points of contact. And then, you know, people squirm here, but everyone's so different. Like it's hard to say, but I'd say if you were fine on the lower portion last time, especially because that was second day too for you. So if you're fine with that, I don't see why it would be an issue this time. Where I get tattooed and I'm like in pain. I'll go. My go-to is Jordan, what's yours? I feel like yours is like
It just looks like he's taking a poop.
yeah, or he's like, I'm gonna throw up.
Mom, I'm gonna throw up.
Pull my fruit up. I learned how to pack black from my mentor and one other artist, Amanda Lund, and this is a technique that they taught me. My mentor, he hangs his needles out a little further than this, but I hang mine out just a little bit less. I don't like to dig it in too much, but whenever I'm packing black, I'm staying very consistent and steady with my hand speed as well as needle depth. I'm going in not flat, not fully sideways, but a nice in between. I was taught that you want to let every single needle Go over the surface and go slow, slow, slow. You want to make sure that you give those needles each time to inject into the skin evenly. That way you avoid rakes. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, especially if you're doing something like a sleeve or a back panel, because you can layer it. And I think it's better to layer it than to scar the skin. But there are ways to make sure that you don't have to go over it a million times. So far, it's looking nice and black and even, which is the goal. Also, stretching can help, but you're looking for that consistent vibration sound. You don't want one way to sound faster than the other, and you want to make sure that the needles are always penetrating the skin. There is a difference between packing and saturating. Packing, you're getting those needles in there, and you're getting it in once, so you don't have to do it anymore. Saturating is a little bit softer. And this will also make sure that it's powdery soft when it heals. See a slight bit of patchiness, so I'm just going to go over that just the slightest bit again. It's also important to make sure that you always have enough ink in your cartridge, because then if not, it's counterproductive and you're just running those needles over the skin for no reason. And then I can also just go over a few times each way and go over just like this to fill in any holes. And then I wipe. Ta-da! Beautiful black. Ooh. All right, so now it's time to break out the big boy. And this is so that I can cover a lot of ground faster. I use this because I'm trying to block in the tendons of the horse. And I was always taught, basically look at your mags as paintbrushes. Would you paint a house with a tiny little paintbrush, or would you paint it with a big roller? That's exactly what I think about when I'm tattooing specific spaces. For instance, for a pupil in an eye, I might use something like a 7 curved mag, whereas for this, I would never use something that small. If you use something like a 7 curved mag on something this big, you're just going to run into it being a little bit more patchy and choppy because you're trying to blend those tiny needles together, and it just saves time using something this large. So it's for efficiency and also just smoother tones overall. So I have this little tendon. You can see it on here. It's going along. It's basically like a tendon or a muscle. And I'm just kind of blocking it in right now with this big mag. It's just easier to just brush it in. And I can just move my way down a lot faster on the body than I would if I had a smaller one. And then I'll move on to blending this large patch. Again, big space, big mag. Just speeds up the process. I would definitely rather use something like that instead of, let's say, something like this. Tiny needle, big space, waste of time. So I am going to be re-stenciling now. I have been working on the little hoof underneath the horse head, and I'm going to do some architecture on the side of my client's back. If I wouldn't have put that architecture there, it would have just kind of run off into nothing. So I wanted to have a nice border. But I have to re-stencil. The first one was really blobby, and I didn't want to deal with that. Hello? What the? Why is this happening? Oh my God. Why is this happening? All right, today we're going to be doing a blackout. So, what happened? is this? What is this? What brand are you? Push. Oh, who are you? You'll be hearing from my manager. Okay. You got one more shot before I lose it. That's how it's supposed to sound. I think that's as good as it's going to get because if I straighten it anymore, it's going to start slanting that way on his back. But this way feels good. Lay that arm down real quick. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You can hang out, Tyler. You're good. Thank you so much. I know that was hard staying that still. So I've been working on this section right here. I'm going to go ahead and move over. I still have to do the hoof, but once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and move over to this section. Whenever you're stenciling a straight line on a curved surface, you're always going to have some wiggle room. Same thing if you're doing a curved line on a straight surface. So this one, when I stenciled it on, even though it was straight, it was warping really bad. So I had to chop this pillar out individually and cut it to be able to stencil it on to where it looks straight. Technically, if I peeled it all off, it would be very wonky, but now on his anatomy, this sits straight. He's just walking around. He's having a midlife crisis right now. Just casual strolls. No big deal. He's just taking a lap. He just needs a minute. It's fine. Tyler, if you see this, I'm sorry for hurting you. All right, guys, we are done with the first session. I have day 2 tomorrow with my client Tyler, and we got done the horse paw. I keep saying horse paw, horse hoof, and some architecture at the bottom. I wanted to get a little bit more done, but we packed a massive chunk of black, and it kind of took him out. So we're going to do a little bit more on the architecture tomorrow, and we're going to do some more architecture on the top shoulder blade area. I'll show you the progress from day 1 in the morning, and then I'll show you all of it at the end of day 2. All right. That's good. Okay, I'm going to focus on stenciling up here now. I'm just going to dry your back off with some alcohol and then make some marks and we'll place it. The forbidden grape jelly.
What does that stuff do?
This is like the adhesive of a sticker.
Okay.
So the stencil, the purple, it helps it stick. And there's all different types.
Okay, so that's why my back is purple. I was like, where's this purple coming from?
Yep, so it's this, and then, well, there goes that glove. It's the stencil stuff, and then it's also, this stencil stuff is like super sticky, like super tacky. For me personally, I'd rather have my stencil stay a little bit longer than it wipe off like mid-face portrait or something. So it just stains your skin. But like I've used some stencil stuffs that are more, almost like, they feel like kind of water-based. And those, I mean, that stencil rubs off, like, you look at it wrong and it rubs off. Especially when I'm doing, like, this really detailed stuff. I really need that stencil to stay. But, yeah, some people love it and other people, they hate it. Like, I do not want my stencil to stay that long. I want it to wipe away sooner. So I understand both camps. But I am in the sticky stencil club for sure. Day 2, and here is my plan. So I'm going to be starting with this architectural element on the top of the head, and I want to make sure I just get all of this detail in. We do have a tiny chunk right here. We got through this little section, but we still have this bit of, get off my screen, this bit of architecture and a few folds of the horse. So I want to focus on the big detail first before I jump down here. This is going to be easier to re-stencil, and it's going to feel a little more complete once this is on. Everyone loves the horse blending into the face. Everyone thinks that that's so cool. I don't know, I just love doing like morphing things like that. Like when you can pull it off and make one thing look like the other, or like look like they're meant to be together. Like I think that it's very cool. But it's just my style. He's scared. I'm gonna hurt him. And He's kind of scared about it. But it's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, Tyler. It's gonna be okay. So I'm starting on the lower section now that we didn't get to yesterday. We're about to see how this goes. Doing these large-scale projects can be definitely demanding and taxing on both the client and the artist. It takes a lot of dedication on all ends, and it's a process. So this one, like, I knew that I was going to be layering a bit more instead of going like one and done, especially because Tyler is super supportive and he is just down for the cause. So, but it's a process, you know, like I tell people, like, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I know a lot of people out there think that you can get like these massive pieces done in like 1 to 2 days, but in my experience, the quality is definitely more important than the quantity or just how much you can get done in a day. I just feel like, you know, if it takes an extra session, whatever it is, I would much rather focus on the art than getting it done for the sake of speed. There are camps that are great for both, you know, like there are going to be those people that want to get these large scale pieces done as fast as possible. And there are artists that are going to want to do it as fast as possible. For me, I feel like the thing that attracts the collectors of my work is my attention to detail, my complexity of my designs, and just my care, you know, like I definitely am all for pushing people, but I always tell everyone that it's way more about having a positive experience when you're in here. I do not want you to be dreading your tattoo appointments. Like, yes, I get it. I get paid to hurt people for a living, but I also tell people that hurting people is my least favorite part of my job. So anything that I can do to mitigate that, besides numbing cream, we don't do that here. Anything other than that I can do to kind of minimize your pain, discomfort, whatever it is, that is my goal. All right, these 2 days are a wrap. Check out the progress. The first day we worked on this lower section here. It goes a little bit past his waistline, and we did this little architectural piece. Second day was this top section, and then this chunk as well that we didn't get to yesterday. We made some good progress, and then the next sessions we're going to be working on the right side. I'm very excited for that. And then at the end, we'll do a nice layering and make sure we punch and get that contrast in there. So stay tuned. Work in progress. Check it out.